हेलो एवरीवन, ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੋਲਿਟੀ ਦੇ MCQs ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਪਹਿਲਾ ਵਾ the directive principles of state policy in the Constitution of India were borrowed from the Constitution of Irish. The origin of DPSP can be traced to which of the following? Karachi Resolution. Which part of the Constitution incorporates the directive principles of state policy? Part 4. Which of the following is not correct about DPSP? They are justiciable in nature. Which of the following statements is incorrect about the directive principles of state policy? They have moral and political sanctions. Which of the following articles of the Indian Constitution mentions about the organization of village panchayats? Article 40. Which article of the Indian Constitution provides that the state must secure a social order to promote the welfare of people? Article 38. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar described DPSP as a novel feature of the Constitution. Which article of the Indian Constitution incorporates that the state shall endeavour to promote cottage industries on an individual or cooperative basis in rural areas? Article 43. Article that says the state shall in particular direct its policy towards securing that the ownership and control of the material resources of the community are so distributed as best to serve the common good. 39b. In Part 4, Article 36 to 51. RDPSP. Which article of the Indian Constitution mentions about the promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and weaker sections? Article 46. Article 49. Protection of monuments and places and objects of national importance. The government scheme Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana aims for crop insurance service for farmers. The type of government efforts fall under Article 48 of DPSP. 39A. It tells us that to promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid. The working conditions also include prevention of sexual harassment of working women and making arrangements in the organization for it. This falls under Article 43. Which article of the Indian Constitution deals with the monuments or a place of artistic or historical interest? Article 49. Which of the following is a liberal principle of DPSP? To secure uniform civil code. Which directive principle has been implemented in establishing Handloom and Handicraft Board? Promote cottage industries on cooperative basis. Which of the statements are correct? Article 37 provides DPSP of state policy are enforceable in high courts only. Article 38 provides that the state shall strive to minimize the inequalities in income amongst individuals and groups of people. Article 39 provides that the state shall direct its policy towards securing that there is equal pay for equal work for both men and women. बहुत easy 37 उन्होंने क्या they are enforceable but हाँ सारों ने पता DPSP enforceable नहीं ने फिर 1 तो है ही नहीं जो 1 नहीं है फिर 2 and 3 है. Which of the following is a feature of DPSP and it also distinguishes it from fundamental rights? It is non-justiciable. The directive principles are largely classified into three broad categories: liberal, socialist, and Gandhian, but not authoritative. Which is not a DPSP reside in any part of India. Which is not a directive principle based on the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi to promote industrialization in urban areas. Which country's constitution was the inspiration behind this? The Constitution of Ireland, which is not correct about DPSP. Ensuring equal remuneration for equal work only for men. It's both for men and women. The DPSP are influenced by which of the following? Gandhian philosophy. Organization of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry is included under which article? Article 48. DPSP, they are borrowed from the Constitution of Ireland. DPSP are fundamental in the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. Article 37. Which of the following statement is not correct about DPSP? These principles are justiciable. Article 36 to 51. Not correct about DPSP. They are justiciable in nature. They make India a welfare state. We want to select the correct option. DPSP consists of all the ideals which the state should follow and keep in mind while formulating policies. B. It can be enforced. It cannot be enforced. B तो है ही नहीं फिर. They can be suspended. No, J भी नहीं है. So only A. Which of the following is not a directive principle of international peace and security? Create opportunities of employment for foreigners, which are incorrectly matched. Only D. Which article of the Indian Constitution makes it clear that DPSP are fundamental in the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws? Article 37. How many directive principles of the original list in the Indian Constitution are amended by the 44th Amendment Act? Only one. Which of the following directs the state to provide equal justice and free legal aid? DPSP at the part 4 चंदा. Biological Diversity Act 2002 was passed by the Government of India. It fulfilled the ideals of which article? Article 48A. According to B.R. Ambedkar's views, which of the following is the key feature of DPSP? Novel feature. The state is obliged to protect every monument, place, and object of national importance. Article 49. Which article? Just and humane conditions of work. Article 42. DPSP in the Indian Constitution aim to create a welfare state. States strive to minimize the inequalities in income is mentioned under DP of Indian Constitution. Which of the following statements given are correct? DPSP is not enforceable by law. DPSP is non-justiciable. I think both are correct. The state shall endeavor to promote cottage industries on an individual or cooperative basis in rural or it is a directive principle on Gandhian principles. The state shall take steps to separate the judiciary from the executive in the public services of the state. This is mentioned under Part 4. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act added 6 directive principles of the state policy. No, the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act subtitled a new article for Article 45 and made elementary education as a fundamental right. Yes, B is true. Okay. One is incorrect. Avala incorrect, yeah? Okay. Incorrect about they promote welfare of individuals. Oh, they are not personal or individualistic based. ठीक है, ये गलत है. Okay, thank you for today. So these were the 50 MCQ of polity. Thank you.